Golden Boy, a play by Clifford Odets, tells the story of Joe Bonaparte, a young Italian-American torn between his talent for music and his ambition in the boxing ring. Originally produced on Broadway in 1937 by the Group Theatre, the play explores themes of identity, sacrifice, and the cost of ambition. At 21, Joe disrupts the lives of those around him when he shifts from being a gifted violinist to pursuing fame and fortune as a prizefighter. The play opens with Tom Moody, a fight manager, arguing with his mistress, Lorna Moon, about his unwillingness to divorce his wife. Their tense conversation is interrupted by Joe, who informs Moody that his fighter, Kaplan, is unable to compete due to a broken hand. Eager to prove himself, Joe offers to step in, and after some hesitation, Moody agrees. Joe wins the fight, marking the beginning of his boxing career. The next scene introduces Mr. Bonaparte, Joe's father, who has purchased an expensive violin as a birthday gift for his son. He believes Joe's future lies in music, a passion they once shared. When Mr. Bonaparte learns of Joe's boxing victory, he pleads with him to return to the violin, but Joe is resolute. Heartbroken, Mr. Bonaparte decides not to give him the violin. 2 months later, Joe has risen to prominence in the boxing world under the management of Moody, Tokyo, and Roxy Gottlieb. Despite his success, Joe remains mindful of his musical gift, avoiding punches that could damage his hands. When Mr. Bonaparte reveals Joe's background as a violinist, the managers grow frustrated with his defensive fighting style. Moody confronts Joe, who threatens to quit the sport. Moody then sends Lorna to convince him otherwise. During a heartfelt conversation, Joe confides that music fulfills his soul, but boxing enables him to confront a world that has often rejected him. Mr. Bonaparte, still hoping to guide Joe back to music, also enlists Lorna's help. However, as Joe prepares for a boxing tour in the Midwest, he rejects the violin his father offers, instead seeking his father's blessing. Mr. Bonaparte refuses, deepening the rift between them. Joe's life becomes further entangled when Eddie Fuseli, a gangster, becomes one of his managing partners. Moody, sensing Joe's distraction, pushes Lorna to intervene. In a pivotal moment, Joe and Lorna admit their love for each other. Yet Lorna, unable to leave Moody, leaves Joe feeling abandoned by both her and his father. His transformation from a sensitive musician to a hardened fighter comes at the cost of his closest relationships, leaving him to grapple with the true price of his choices. In his next fight, Joe faces the great Lombardo. Fueled by an intense emotional state, he abandons caution and fights with unrestrained ferocity. Though he wins the match, he breaks his hand in the process. 6 months later, Joe has become a top prizefighter, known for his increasingly violent behavior in the ring. Joe discovers that Lorna is now engaged to Moody and confronts her. Their heated argument culminates in Lorna accusing Joe of being a killer, no different from Eddie Fuseli. Distracted and emotionally unmoored, Joe steps into the ring once more, this time against Baltimore Chocolate Drop, the same opponent from his first fight. He wins the match, but his final punch proves fatal, killing his opponent. The play's closing scene takes place at Mr. Bonaparte's home, where Joe's managers gather to celebrate his latest victory. As they await Joe and Lorna's arrival, a phone call interrupts the festivities. Joe's brother, Frank, answers and delivers devastating news. Joe and Lorna have died in a car accident. Mr. Bonaparte, heartbroken, prepares to retrieve Joe's body, vowing to bring him home where he belongs. Clifford Odets' Golden Boy examines the conflict between artistic integrity and material ambition, a theme reflective of Odets' own struggles. While working in Hollywood to support the independent Group Theatre, Odets grappled with the tension between commercial success and artistic fulfillment. As John Lahr noted in The New Yorker, Joe, like many of Odets' characters, is driven to madness by living against his nature. The Group Theatre, co-founded by Harold Clurman, Cheryl Crawford, and Lee Strasberg, aimed to create plays that met high artistic standards. Strasberg, known for pioneering the American acting technique, later used by legends like Marlon Brando and James Dean, was a key figure in the group. The original Broadway production of Golden Boy debuted in 1937 at the Belasco Theatre under Clurman's direction, running for 250 performances. It was revived at the Anta Playhouse in 1952 for an additional 55 performances, and again in 2012, earning 3 Drama Desk Award nominations and 8 Tony Award nominations. The play's enduring legacy includes its 1939 film adaptation, which featured William Holden in his breakout role, solidifying Golden Boy as a poignant exploration of ambition and its consequences. I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.